Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For any first time viewers, I'm Jesse and today we're going to be opening up this gold label Mcfarlane Azrael. When I seen this was going to come out, when I saw the Instagram post, I freaked out. I could not wait to get it. Now I do think his colors are a little off. I mean, this Azrael is a little more realistic with, like, you know, he's got that kind of, he actually kind of reminds me of like an Arkham version, even though it doesn't match the Arkham version. Don't mind this Mr. Freeze who's unassembled. That's not where he's going to end up sitting. I have not put him back together yet. But anyway, you can see we got this really cool original artwork from the 90s back here. And I do have 3 of them, but one's going to a buddy. We're opening one and we're keeping one in the package. Now, I want to go ahead and get this open and see how this guy looks outside of this package. Now, one of my favorite things is it is Azrael Batman armor. Batman Knightfall, as where Prime 1 just called him Batman Knightfall or Knightfall Batman. And it confused a lot of people that did not know what it was. Everyone just kept calling him Knightfall Batman. Azrael is different from Bruce Wayne. He actually takes over when Bruce Wayne gets his back broken. It's kind of like the story that The Dark Knight Rises told, but it's an old 90s comic book line. And Jean Paul actually starts out with the normal bat suit, and then he moves to the bat suit with these gauntlets, and then he moves all the way to this armor. Now, right off the bat, my first impressions is this figure is dope. I really like him. I think he does need to be a little darker color scheme. He seems to be pretty posable for what we got. He's about the same as all the other ones, but he has this really big cape that's kind of in the way of you doing anything with him. But hooks under this nice, cool, very 90s chest part. The head's very cool. We got a lot of texture going on in his legs here, kind of just like the, well, not much like the Prime 1 at all, I guess. He kind of has leather all over him. But I really hope this means they're going to make a Bane from Knightfall as well. I know we just recently got the Rebirth Bane, but that Bane's kind of oversized compared to the Bane that we would get from Knightfall. Bane from Knightfall is actually pretty anatomically correct, just a lot larger. You can see here he's got all these muscles that make no sense. It actually looks like he's got some type of disease, maybe. It's completely overdone. It's like kind of like Rob Liefeld back in the 90s. But that's what the 90s were all about. Pouches and muscles. Alright, Azrael Batman Armor, Batman Knightfall. Real name, Jean Paul Valley. I know some people say it's Jean Paul. I've always said Jean, so whatever. Upon his father's death, college student Jean Paul Valley learns that he had been genetically altered and trained since birth by a secret society known as the Order of Saint Dumas. They then activate his psychological conditioning, forcing him to become their most elite enforcer, Azrael. While on a mission in Gotham City, Azrael crosses paths with Batman and soon turns on the Order to join the Dark Knight. Later, when Bruce Wayne is paralyzed by Bane, Bruce asks Jean Paul to become Batman for some time. And it's funny because Jean Paul's actually wearing like a ninja outfit. And he's running around with Robin. He's got this ridiculous hood with these tassels hanging off of it. And then Nightwing says, you know, he understands why Bruce did not ask him. Because he knows that Bruce wants him to be his own man. So Jean Paul takes over. The conditioning kicks in and he goes absolutely crazy. He's a really mean Batman and he's actually pretty badass. He's basically going overboard with everything he does. But this figure is absolutely awesome. I really like him. I think he's really cool. He's got a lot of posability going on. He's got some cool 90s muscles. He's got his pouches all the way around him. He's very close to that original suit. I guess, you know, maybe they were slightly going off this exact picture for him. Almost. think they kind of did their own thing a little bit with them too. One thing that does bother me is the way they package these things sometimes bends their ears a little bit. But I think we can fix that over time. As you can see back here, a lot alike. Very cool. The double pouches. Really digging this Azrael figure. I like him. I think he's a good gold label figure. I hope we get a another run at him that's not gold label, maybe in a 2-pack with a Bane. That would be very cool. Maybe we could get him with a Bruce Wayne in a wheelchair. I doubt that would ever happen. But I like that Knightfall's being revisited. Ooh, his foot really has to go in there. I like that Knightfall's being revisited now. Feels like the right time. It feels like while DC is screwing up everything they possibly can in the current year, but very high hopes for this David Zaslav, who's canceling DC movies right and left. He canceled Batgirl, which was supposedly terrible. We all knew it was going to be woke. Hopefully he goes in, cleans house at DC, gets some real things going. I've actually heard rumor that Mcfarlane might take over the publishing of DC Comics. Now, I think that would actually be a really good thing to happen. I mean, Mcfarlane's on top of the world right now. The guy's a little weird, obviously, but I mean, he's making great decisions with Spawn. He's got that whole universe going over there. He's doing great with these toys. I know everyone's got some qualms with this figure or that figure, but he's doing a lot with this licensing. He took over DC Direct. He's got those things that were getting canceled being pumped out. I hear there's supposed to be a Batman and Spawn crossover, so I mean, why not float him the whole DC universe and let him drag it out of the abyss of this wokeness? I mean, these people are just destroying these characters, and it feels like it's very spiteful. But as a non-DC comic reader now, we're actually still buying a lot of the old stuff. We actually just bought 4 volumes of straight up 90s Batman. I found 3 of them at Second and Charles, and then I found the 4th one on Amazon. Bought them all. I told Karen, I was like, baby, you gotta see the Batman I grew up with. He was so cool. But aside from all that, here is our Azrael figure. I think he turned out very well. I think this packaging is really dope. I think anytime there's an Azrael, it completely sells out. I mean, people go crazy for Azrael. We grabbed all 3 of them from one Walmart, and I've never seen them anywhere else. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this Azrael in the comments. I am back. I'm going to be posting pretty regularly, and I'm going to be digging through those comments. I know I'm far behind, but we're actually starting to get a little bit of downtime going now. So I'm going to get back on top of all of this. Thank you for all the love and support you show me, and keep buying toys.